one of Keir Starmer's cabinet ministers, who claimed to be surprised and furious at a PR agency's work to investigate journalists on his behalf, in fact was involved in naming them to British intelligence officials and falsely linking them to pro-Russian propaganda, according to evidence. I have a personal stake in this because it relates to untrue reports about me that were published years ago. The Guardian reports, the extraordinary disclosures are contained in emails that Josh Simons and his Chief of Staff at Labour Together sent to the National Cyber Security Centre, NCSC, a division of the spy agency GCHQ in 2024. A spokesperson for Simons, a Cabinet Office minister, said, "These claims are untrue." The emails, seen by The Guardian, lay out in detail what Simons and his team wrote to intelligence officials in an effort to get them to investigate the sourcing behind a story in the Sunday Times about Labour Together's failure to disclose political donations. When informed by The Guardian about what had been communicated about them to intelligence officials, some of those named in the emails accused Simons of orchestrating a McCarthyite smear campaign that left them feeling violated. I feel violated too. There's a clear contradiction here, and Simons has questions to answer. The report says he has in recent days claimed he was disturbed to find the APCO report had delved into unnecessary information about one of the Sunday Times journalists. But the emails show how, weeks after receiving the report, he was involved in naming the same journalist in an email to intelligence officials, using this unnecessary information. He had said this information had been removed before the file had been passed on. APCO's report suggested, without evidence, that the Sunday Times story was based on data hacked from the Electoral Commission, which it linked to Russia. But Paul Holden, who also contributed to the Sunday Times report that prompted the APCO investigation, has shown The Guardian his source materials, which indicate, and this is crucial, the story was based on files leaked from the Labour Party by whistleblowers. Here's my connection. I was targeted by the Sunday Times, by reporter Gabriel Pogrund, who was the principal focus of this investigation, in an article that used information from a confidential report to the Labour Party's National Executive Committee. That newspaper later published a lengthy apology after I launched proceedings against it that lasted nearly a year. Prior to publication, Pogrund told me explicitly that the allegations came from a report to a Labour NEC meeting, and I should reiterate that NEC disciplinary papers are confidential. The material therefore appears to have originated from inside the Labour Party. I have never been told how it reached the press. In light of The Guardian's reporting that Labour whistleblowers provided internal documents in other cases, it is reasonable to ask whether my case formed part of a wider pattern of internal material being leaked during factional conflict within Labour. I have contacted the principal reporter behind The Guardian story and am now awaiting a response.